Hey, VA Nation, it's decision day for the Fed. Let's talk about it. Let's get after it. All right, welcome back. Jeff Newton here with National VA Loans, joined and not so special anymore because now you're on here again. So joined by
when you asked me to come back, I thought that was a good first sign. Like, if you go over to somebody's house and they ask you to come back, you're like, okay, I didn't wear out my welcome too bad. So I had fun, and I thought, hey, let's start doing more of these, and especially today. We kind of had some news in the market, right?
No, I know it's great. We've got a little bit of news, but hey, we're National VA Loans powered by Stride Bank. This is Jeff Newton, Jerry Kolich, and he's right. Today was decision day for the Fed. Now, Jerry, I've been a little tied up today, so you've gotten to listen to Powell maybe a little bit more than me. So what's the old bag saying?
Reading some captions for the most part, but as anticipated, the Feds didn't do anything with interest rates today. And I think what has happened over the last few months, and the government shutdown, and maybe some delayed data coming back with jobs reports and some different things like that, they're kind of putting a pause right now on lowering that benchmark prime interest rate, the Fed rate. But we do think that we're going to see some rates maybe trickle down a little bit more into the near future. So right now, I feel like, Jeff, it's a pause, but the anticipation is we may see them go a little bit lower in the upcoming months.
Sometimes it feels like Groundhog Day in January. It's like, hey, I think they're coming down. I mean, but that's really where we're at. I mean, our crystal ball is a little foggy sometimes. And I think, I've just glanced over and I see Powell right now speaking.
Yeah, he's on right now.
But, I think you're right. I think we are going to see rates trickle down. And I think that kind of leads us into some conversations we've had, of course, with just between you and I, and then even with our VA specialists here in Kansas City.
Yeah. And when we say trickle down, that means like trickling down even more. Because if we were to take a snapshot of where the market was a year ago, like we talked about in one of our other videos, we're probably, let's just say a point lower for easy kind of numbers, right? And so the number of people that I'm talking to right now, and I'm always surprised when I hear this about, have you done a mortgage checkup? And it's well, no. Well, when's the last time you've looked into your home loan? When I closed it. And so it's like, this is an asset, an appreciating asset. And so the example that I give people sometimes is, if you were just to go put, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 with a financial advisor, would you just kind of take the hands off the wheel and just assume that everything's going great with your money and your asset? No way.
That's a guaranteed way to go broke, I have a feeling.
Right. And so this is the perfect time. And it may be, right now may not be the right time to do something. But that's the information that we love giving. We love being advisors to our veterans. And there's a no cost to it, but it's a simple 5, 10, 15-minute phone call. Hey, how are things going in the market? We can talk about the Fed decisions today. Are there any other opportunities? And Jeff, you know this because you talk to our staff about it all the time. Sometimes people just think like, I'm just going to refinance. That's the only reason I should refinance, is to lower my interest rate or term. But that's not the case, right?
No. One thing I talk about religiously with people is use your home as a financial tool.
Yep.
Okay. It's an appreciating asset. Treat it like any other appreciating asset. Don't get me wrong. It's your home. It's where you live. But if you use it as a financial tool, number one, you can find yourself, if you've got debt, you can find yourself out of debt. If you're trying to build savings, this can help improve and get your savings built faster. And then you can find ways to pay your house off sooner and to even be completely debt free in a shorter period of time.
Well, and then you look at the folks too that maybe they've been in the home for 3, 4, 5 years. Maybe they were able to capture one of those interest rates that were a little bit lower than we all now. We know during the COVID situation that the rates came down. And so you're in that situation, but now you need to do improvements on the home. Okay. And sometimes I think we get so fixated on the interest rate that, you remember, if you need to do improvements on the home or in addition to the home, if you can use the equity in that home to improve your asset, to increase the potential value of that asset, those are things you want to talk about. That doesn't mean that you should do it, But that's why we like to do these mortgage checkups, because that gives the people, we get to look at the entire situation. And if you haven't talked to your advisor in a year or 2 years, there's a lot of things that happen in 1 to 2 years. Maybe there's a kiddos going off to school. Maybe you do need to consolidate some debt. But the amount of times we'll sit there and look at a profile and they'll have, say, a credit card interest or a credit card over here at this interest rate, and they have the equity sitting in their home, and they can pay off that credit card, put it into a cheaper interest rate of an appreciating asset, and then their cash flow is better.
Yeah. It's a no-brainer.
No-brainer. And there's no better loan to do it than the VA loan.
And why is that? It's because you can access more equity on a VA loan than you can on any other loan out there.
Right.
Just period. I mean, 90% and upwards of 100% in access of your equity from the VA loan, which is, there's nothing better. So, hey, you know what we haven't done is I haven't given us the phone number. So, guys, if you want to call, if you have any questions about this, or VA specialists are waiting. I mean, we have guys on the phone actively. We're unfortunately missing calls. So if you get a call, leave us a message because we'll call you back because we have that many people calling. But it's 855-956-4040. The fact of the matter is, and we'll go back to it, but using that as a financial tool, paying off debt if you want to. So, I mean, and I love the idea of increasing the value of your property, adding a room, remodeling, redoing your kitchen, redoing your bathroom, your flooring, things like that will add value to your property and just increase the equity position that you have.
Well, and you mentioned just a little bit ago, you said up to 90%, right? And so I think sometimes we just get in this business and we just kind of start chattering and all these different things. But why is that different? Why is 90% different than, say, a conventional loan? Because conventional loans, you can't go up to 90%.
No, 80.
You're capped at 80. But that's, we're just trying to highlight the benefits of these VA loans, and the ability to go up to 90% is amazing. And in some instances, Jeff, why don't you talk about when we can go up to 100%?
Yeah, that's probably one of the greatest things with the VA loan is you can't actually tap into 100% of the equity. Now, there's some guidelines to go along with that. The VA, I will say this, a lot of people will say that, oh, VA loans are tough and things like that, but they do have a fiduciary duty to look out for veterans, and that's what they do within that loan. So I love that aspect.
Net tangible benefit. They will make sure that there's not people out there taking advantage of our veterans. Correct. They put the guardrails on there, and we are thankful for that.
Yes, because not everyone's like us. And one thing that well, I mean, I'm just saying, one thing that I respect and more than anything is people that go and put their life on the line for us while we sit here in our cushy office. And they're out there doing that. So that's why, I love the guardrails that are in place. I love it.
So at the end of the day, Jeff, I think if you have not done a mortgage checkup in the last 6 months, call. There is no cost to do it. We have a number of people sitting by now. It has been busy, so the phone's ringing a lot, but just call and say, hey, I just want to do a quick, no obligation checkup. Here's my current situation. Whether we've done the loan in the past or not does not matter. Here's my situation. Would it make sense to continue to gather data to see if this would be a good decision for me? Everybody should be doing that right now with what has happened over the last year to where we are now to where we may be going. And a lot of times what I'm doing right now, Jeff, is I'm saying, now's not the time, but let's look at the rate that would make sense. And talk to your the loving people around you and say, hey, if it gets to this makes sense for us so we can be ready. Because what we're seeing sometimes too is a quick little spike where, those rates are available for a short period of time and then maybe the market corrects itself a little bit. So maybe now is not the time to do something, but have what we call that strike rate. Like, hey, if I can get down to X, we're ready to go.
Yeah. And that's, I think, the key is being ready to go in a market that is moving ever so fast, which this one is. So, all right, guys, like Jerry said, give us a call, 855-956-4040, or check us out online at nationalvaloans.com. And if you're like Jerry and I, and you just like to get stuff done, check out nationalapplynow.com. Download the simple, easy, secure Stride Home application right to your phone. You can fill out an app within 5 minutes. It'll submit directly to us securely. You don't have to worry about your information going anywhere except for to our VA specialists. Again, that's nationalapplynow.com. And to stay up to date with all the current information on VA home loans and to be able to see Jerry and I on a regular basis, click that subscribe button somewhere. I never know now, especially when we split these screens. There you go. I like it.
You're hearing my camera.
Yeah. Click that subscribe button on the screen there, or go to youtube.com/National VA Loans. Guys, we thank you for your time. We thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you do. Jerry, thank you for coming on and hanging out.
Me.
Till next time, guys, take care of yourselves and God bless.